Hello. How's it going? See if I need these glasses on. Oh, get some people in here and talk about a couple of things. Let's see if the DAT board is still down. It is. If you are relying on the DAT board, that's probably what you're looking at right there. Right? Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. Get some people in here. We'll do some shout outs, make an announcement, and we'll go from there. We've got 9 people in here. It's midday. It's mid-morning. Midday, I guess. Got my like trucking coffee mug representing. And driving but listening, good deal. I don't know. Oh, thanks for the super chat there, Charles. I appreciate that. Oh, Kenny, you're funny. So we'll get some more people in here. We'll do our good mornings. I appreciate everybody coming in. If you guys haven't noticed, I have a membership page now. Yes, I've sold my soul. I've sold out. I've become that guy. So I figured, a lot of people want to have a one-on-one conversation with me, and I've been having a few, and sometimes that takes away from things that I need to be doing, kind of like this live feed. So I thought, you know what, let's get some, if I can help you out, cool. If not, at least give you a different perspective. I know some people come to me for advice, and not that I know anything, but maybe I can kind of give you a different perspective on something that you may not think about. So if you want to be a member, cool. If you get annoyed by me taking live feeds down a lot, if you become a member, that won't happen. Even if I say something controversial, which is not hard to do in today's Google world, right? So Dad is pushing hard for Chuck Stop. So we'll do some shout outs and then we'll go on. We've got 15 people in here. That's good enough. Dan Murray, Charles, what's up? Over tax to Minnesota, Dave. Anthony Bressler, good morning. Nick G, get to work. Thank you very much. Big Houston, Red Pepper. Red Pepper, it's good to see you. I was thinking about you the other day. I'm glad to see you up and around. Sage News, hey now. A. Haggy, Don Shonger, Nomadic Brit is listening. I'm held up in Independence, Virginia over this crud. Crud being the DAT. Yeah, can you get a refund, right? Clyde Garland, good morning. Hope your authority is doing well and you're not completely dependent on the DAT board. Have you witnessed any semi-trucks crash down the road? Yes. GNC Family Trucking, oh no, Mr. Bill. Good morning, something. What's up? Let's talk about the DAT board, right? For those of you that are my non-trucker friends, if you work in the spot market, you rely on dial-a-truck, also known as the DAT board, DAT. It's been a low board for, I don't know, 40, 50 years now. I remember being at the truck stop with my dad in front of the TV screen with a pad of paper looking at the DAT board. That was what you had to do back in the day. Now we just get on our little device and go, oh, look at this load and call on it, or even now, book it now, However, it's got to work. And the servers are down. And the purpose is not to beat up DAT, It's not to beat up the DAT board. It's to bring attention to something that you may or may not be experiencing. It feels good to be thought about. Yes, Red Pepper, I do think about you, man. Just drove through Springfield. Did you see me waving? Yes, I did. I saw smoke in the distance, and I wondered if that was you. No, I got set up with a few brokers and company I worked for years ago, keeping me busy as I want to be. There you go. That's where we are going to go. Let's see. Sage get to work. Says Cascade, other truck name best. Yes. Janus Best is going to bring up something I'm going to bring up. So here's the deal. I know people that think that relationships with brokers are not important. And I can't tell you how many times the DAT board has gone down and I wasn't worried. In fact, people have to call me, dude, is your DAT board down? I don't know, let me look. Because of the relationships that I have. You know, I check all my click and goes first. Okay, I'm that guy. But then I will go to C.H. Robinson's app. I will go to TQL's app. I will go to JB Hunt's app because they have a lot of the freight in the area. And then I will email and call the brokers that I've done loads for out of here that don't have an app. And you have Trucker Tools and you have DOFT load board, which is free, right? Now, when you use a free load board, and you have to be careful because you want to check the MC number if you factor. You want to check with them to make sure it's good. Because one of the good things about the DAT board is you have broker reviews. You know, now you can take a lot of them with a grain of salt, but you can also kind of see if 100 people, if out of 100 people, only 3 would recommend working with, there's probably a situation there, right? And then you've got the 1, 2, 3 load board, which I'm sure Jeff already advertised in this video that he just did that I missed. And that's free for the first, I think you can look at 5 loads, details of 5 loads. And then you can, you know, pay for their service. And I have yet to see the 1, 2, 3 load board go down. So there are many options today and a lot of free apps. Yes, I mean, you've got DOFT, and see, and I don't know what's going on over at DAT, but they have to realize that all they're doing is pushing people to not use their load board. Now imagine, but here's where I'm getting with this, okay? You have to have relationships. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't want to be the guy that says you have to. It's a good idea. There we go. That's better. It's a good idea to have relationships with brokers, a list of numbers that you can call, a list of emails that you can send out for this very reason. And if your business 110% relies on the DAT board, you're probably sweating right now a little bit if you didn't book ahead. And that's why you should always diversify, have your different eggs in different baskets. So like my process, when I look for a load, the DAT board is actually the last place I actually look as far as my normal resources. And again, a lot of it's because I do a lot of the same stuff. I work for the same brokers. But ask anybody who's been consistent without the roller coasters, they'll tell you that they run for the same 3 or 4 or 5 or a handful of brokers. If you're a new authority and you book a load with a new broker, see what they got on the return load. Try to do 2 or 3 in a row. I mean, that was a strategy that I tried to use at Landstar. It's a strategy I've used here. And a smart broker will ask you, hey, you know, what do you got coming out of there? If you're going to an area that they have a lot of freight. Now, that could be a challenge. There's a broker right out of here, right out of Springfield, that only has freight coming in because they work for a customer here. So they don't really have anything going out. But if you can find a more well-known broker that has freight both directions, you do 2 or 3 or 4 loads ahead. You know, that's what's made me money in the past. It's not the only way to do things, but when things go down, I think that's to me, it's a smart way of doing it. And so these people that look at brokers as the enemy and don't want relationships with brokers and don't want to deal, you know, they would rather make 30 phone calls every time they got to look for a load. You know, you're probably hating life right now if you're looking for a load. A Friday morning, the clock is ticking, you better have something booked or else you're going to be sitting all weekend depending on where you are. I agree, Brian B. I agree wholeheartedly with that statement. I don't even call them their loads on the DAT board. Let's see. No, I got, okay, so Clyde's got it. Rick LP, what's up? No, I got set up with a few brokers, says Clyde, in company I worked for years ago, keeping me busy as I want to be. There you go. Let's see. Trucking with T-Bone, what's up? Let's see. Anthony Bressler, I think I already said hey to you. Can you haul freight for Dollar General in your own trailer, or if they allow you to pull one of their trailers but using your truck? Pulling one of their trailers is a no-go because they have lift gates, and so you need an extra plug-in for that. But I have hauled Dollar General freight that goes into the DCs. So, Eddie, what's up? Ryan B, Shannon, good morning, everyone. What are you sipping on? I got just standard Aldi's generic coffee there. Nick G, Landstar is not 75-25. It is 65% unless you have your own trailer. Then it's either 72 or 73. I can't remember. I believe it's 73%. Brian B, you do hazmat. That's cool. Yeah, Brian, Dad is dropping the ball right now, and that's why, you know, if you're 100% relying on it, you're probably hurting right now. And there's a lot of other resources. Now, obviously, something major has happened. So when one person goes to the DAT board, I've seen screenshots, it says scheduled maintenance. And then others say emergency maintenance. Well, I would hope that it wasn't scheduled maintenance, because the schedule it Friday morning probably isn't a good idea. Because if you're a broker that relies on the DAT board, you're probably hurting as well. So, Desert Okie Pam, what's up? Dutch, morning, early weekend. Yeah, it's there's a lot of, my truck has been in the shop again. We got 2 things. Monday afternoon, I brought it in for coolant leaks, and we got that situated. And then that was ready Tuesday afternoon. Then Wednesday morning, I went down with Big Rig CEO, who was replacing all of his drives, and I bought all of his old ones to put on my trailer, because there was still a lot of tread left, because he's a big money guy like that, so he doesn't let him get down too far. So I had reached that point with my trailer where I was chasing tires, and so I just wanted a clean slate. So I should get another year or 2 out of these tires, on how I run. If not, I saved a boatload of money. I almost said the other word. Probably hacked. I mean, look, this happens quite a bit though, Cascade, right? They you never know, right? Maybe they're fighting hackers, you know, who knows. Snorelord, tell them about that trick with that DAT for power only guys. That was a revelation for me, and I'm going to use it. John, what John Armstrong's talking about, he called me the other day, and he did not realize that DAT had a power only option. Come here. Hey. Here. Diesel. Here. See my dog? Oh, probably not. Hey, where? What are you doing? What are you doing? You want to be YouTube famous? Look at that. Look at that. Let me let him in. And yeah, there's a power only option. And so TQL has a lot of loads that are basically empty trailers that you get 2 or 3 weeks with. It's an empty trailer for maybe extra lease or a carrier that goes from, say, St. Louis to Dallas, but it's got a 2-week window. So you get $50 from TQL or somebody or a broker like that, and then you've got a trailer for 2 or 3 weeks. Yep. So I actually have a power only search on my DAT search for such an event, but I haven't really seen anything that works for me. I have multiple searches on my DAT board. I used to do that with Landstar too. I would do light only loads, and then I would do a 150-mile radius to a 200-mile radius to Springfield to get all the short haul stuff. And then I'll do a Springfield to anywhere or where I'm at to anywhere to see, and look at the highest rate and see what's paying the best. Depending on how I want to run that week. So, I mean, and I have all these searches already set up. You can do that with 123 low board. You can do that with DAT. You can do that with all of them. And you can also call whatever broker agent and talk to him. It's easier to call up, say, your rep at, say, I don't know, C.H. Robinson and say, hey, I'm looking at this load going to Dallas. Okay, well, you got something out of Dallas that would work for that. You can kind of bypass all the app searches. So, there's a method to the madness, right? TJ Jones, what is up? Has technology online low boards eliminated the personal relationships in your business? Oh, you're asking, has technology online low boards eliminated the personal relationships in your business and converted to click and go? Not really, Bill. Because like Convoy, a lot of times I'll put my high bid in and then I'll call them. Uber will call you. If Uber sees that you do this load over and over and they see that you've looked at it, they'll call you and say, hey, we're wondering why you haven't clicked on this yet, especially if they're desperate to move. A lot of brokers on the DAT board or any low board will be email only, which I don't mind that because it goes straight to the cut. It might be a person that struggles with English or the other way around. So it kind of alleviates that issue. And I could be emailing one broker while I'm calling another. So I don't mind, because the reason being is because I can't tell you how many times I've called on a load and the person was rude to me. He was unprofessional, acting like he hated his life. Like the minute he gets off the phone, he takes himself out or something, and you're just like, and I'm sure that he's heard, or he or she has heard, drivers acting like that as well, or dispatchers or whatever. And sometimes the email is easier. And so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll email, and in your signature you should have your truck, trailer, phone, MC number, and email all right there in the signature. That way they don't have to email you back and say, what's your MC number, and as instantaneous as email is now, I don't mind it at all. Personal relationships, though, are established once you do business with somebody. Once you do a load with a broker, talk to them on the phone and say, hey, I'm in this area all the time, or do you have more of these, or how long do these run for, yada, 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 So in a way it has, but in a way it hasn't, But a guy can completely, like you Schneider guys, if you want to do nothing but Uber and Convoy and CH Robinson, you could literally do the click and go system in the spot market. You may not get the best rates, but if you're willing to go anywhere and everywhere, um, you can do that. Now, the great thing about some of the click and goes, it will tell you what loads are in the area that you're going to, which is what a good broker should do. Hey, I've got this load going to Carlisle, Pennsylvania. I've got 10 loads coming out of there, depending on where you want to go. That's how it should be. I run all of California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Arizona in vans for a top 25 brokerage company. I run a lot of the same carriers, so DAT has not hurt me much. Good deal, Brian. You figured it out. That's exactly what you need to do. Nick Brashears, good morning. We use Landstar a couple of times a month to fuel their fund their fuel card. Snorelord, you have really great hair. Thank you, Shannon. Let's see. What's up, Jeff? How's it going? I've got the light trucking cup sporting today. Orion, what's up, Orion? You posted a meme the other day that made me laugh very loud. I sent it to my wife. It was the one about the medical procedure. It was hilarious. If your wife ever gets mad at you and kicks you out of the house for one day, you can just go in your truck and go park at Walmart for the night, sleep in your truck. I could sleep in my truck in the driveway. So there's that. Walmart doesn't let you around here. Walmart doesn't let you spend the night in the truck, and you wouldn't want to. All the Walmarts here are in. Well, let's just say you better be packing something. Anthony, what's up, man? Oh, and Jeff, I saw what you posted. I didn't watch your video. I got there at the tail end, and you ignored me. But the thing that you were promoting on the stocks, I saw a post about that on Facebook early this morning. I wish I would have seen it yesterday, because I'd be probably rich right now. Yeah, so, but we did buy into that. Anybody who bought into what you were talking about is probably making some coin right now. Maybe, I don't know. It looks volatile though. So, I mean, have a backup plan. I've said it, and I've been made fun of for saying that. But when you run a business, you can't, like, for example, if you're a brick and mortar store and you rely on one supplier for everything and you have no other options, that supplier owns your business. Holy crap. I'll be right back. All right. So here's what happened, guys. You guys want to see what happened? Take you out here. That transformer right there, man, I can't see. That transformer right there just blew. Oh man. Jeez. That. Okay, so let's explain why I ran in the house. That's YouTube gold right there, buddy. Jeez. Oh, did that freak you guys out? Like, oh, why is Steve running? Every time we blow a transformer, which that means they're going to have to access that. So I guess I'm not going anywhere today. It causes a brownout in the house, and every time that's happened, it blows a computer or two. Man, I gotta get rid of this cardboard in here. Um, so that's why I ran in. Wanted to make sure my computer was unplugged and my CPAP machine was unplugged. So, jeez. Oh man. I'm your favorite Terminator? Cool. A lot changed for sure. Remember my father called once, twice a day at the truck stop, right? I do. We do have surge protectors, but they've failed. It's an electronic device that fails. So yeah, you can smell it now. You can smell the sulfur. You know what's funny is I'm still. Let's just say I've got something right here. I've still got it on me. I was like, what's? Oh man, that was crazy. We haven't seen one blow for a while. So, jeez. Yeah, I don't know if the squirrel did it, but yeah, it's this power line literally right behind our garage here. So I don't know how they're going to access it unless they got to go through our house. So, when am I going back on stage? Probably not for a long time. The drummer that we have in this band, this new band, and I and the wife have decided that playing out is not really a priority. We're just about jamming, making music. The other guitar player, he has like 4 different projects that he's got going on, so he gets his chance to play out. But a lot of the clubs here require a certain medical procedure to get in, and so that's killing the entire small scene industry here because of their requirements. There's a few clubs that aren't doing that, um, but the main ones, the main promoter here is requiring that, and yeah, so a lot of the music industry is still hurting from these mandates. So you have the shock factor of the day. Thank you. I do. So, oh Lord, squirrel. Yep. Pour def on it to change the sulfur to NOx. Okay. Let's see. Are you a wrestling Mick Foley fan because he wears what you're wearing, has a similar beard? No, I'm not, but I don't watch wrestling. When it comes to wrestling, I was old school, like old school, like I was a kid, and as you can tell, it was probably quite a while ago. Um, I have my computer plugged into an uninterruptible power supply. Computer never goes down when power goes out. Keep on trucking, big guy trucker. So, that person is always changing his name. So, um, now, have you guys noticed that I've changed up my YouTube a little bit? Instead of going live every other day and talk about the same crap, I've decided to do these short videos because I would do these GoPro clips, but then it would take me forever to put one together, like my old school vlogs I used to put together. So I noticed that YouTube algorithms prefer the short, straight to the point, no music, no drama, no nothing videos. Um, I guess drama's a wrong word because YouTube does like the drama videos, but like the videos where it's just showing the aftermath of something or somebody doing something ridiculous, and or something that a new CDL holder might watch. Like I've got I've got a video coming up of me going through Branson, Missouri, which isn't the most fun thing to do in a truck, especially if you don't know where you're going. I did know where I was going. I did not get lost. A lot of people are giving me grief over the goat path one, which is fine. I deserve every single bit of that. So, because if I had just taken a ride out of that establishment and just went the way I came, I would have been okay. Andre the Giant, yep. Are you an owner operator? Yes, SW, I am. Now, here's something else too that you gotta realize as owner operators, right? A lot of people in my circle, in our circle, like Cascade and Clyde and John Armstrong and all that kind of stuff. We all rely on low boards, right? And if you're sitting at a truck stop, let's say there's 100 trucks at this truck stop, you're probably one of 5 people in there that are on the DAT board looking for a load. In other words, people like us that work at small carriers like trucking and Best Logistics and Clyde's Authority and Cascade Transport and all that, we are the minority in this big trucking universe. Guys that choose their own loads, go where they want, use the DAT board. Because even guys with their own authority will use a dispatch service, or they have direct customers, and they only rely on the DAT board every now and then to get back home or to get back in their lane of where their customers are. And so to rely 100% on the DAT board, you're going to have to be a good surfer. In other words, you're going to have to ride the waves, know when to swim, know when to not go surfing, know when to just ride it out, and realize that you're dealing with a very volatile market, which I predict is going to drop very soon. One of the precursors to rates dropping is a lot of canceled loads. And a lot of times a rate drop is kind of a good thing, and here's why. I know some of you are like, what? Don't wreck your truck if you're listening. But the reason being is when the brokers know they're going to get in the shorts, they will lower the rates as much as they can, because they know that the next week, and they won't tell you this, but the next week, they know that they're going to get in the shorts. So you kind of keep an eye on those things, but you have to be able to ride the wave. And the best way to ride the wave, the best way to shield yourself from things happening out of the blue, like that board going down or loads canceling, is to create some sort of consistency. And through consistency, you 99% of the people I know that are successful out here have consistency. That's what I found at Schneider that I couldn't find at Landstar. And so when I entered the spot market, which I realized was very volatile, I had to figure out a way to make that consistent. And luckily I live in a good freight area where that's very easy to do. What is your second favorite type of music? Is it country music? No, it's Viking music, like Wardruna, things of that nature. That Ninja, lessons learned, absolutely. Thoughts on 18-year-olds with CDL? 18-year-olds, I believe, it's going to open an avenue to some serious issues. However, it is possible with the right training, right? The only issue is that there's a lot of companies out there that don't have good trainers, or they don't have a good training program, because there's a lot of people that have come into this country that can barely read the English language, that have gotten their CDLs, and there's a lot that comes with that. And I think that the 18-year-old thing will be a similar thing. I don't recommend it, but there's not much I can do about it until I see it. And when I see it, I will do what I can to help whoever decides to make that decision. I think that's the best course of action. Now, the good part of that is that you can influence them quicker. Whereas if you take somebody that's 50 years old and make them a new CDL holder, they've already got bad driving habits. They've already got old habits, right? And the trick to being a good truck driver is to get rid of the four-wheeler mentality. You can't be a tailgater. You can't be aggressive. You can't be in a hurry. You have to know how to take your time. And that's one of the negative things about automated transmissions that I see, is that it's hard for new CDL holders to get out of the four-wheeler mentality, because the four-wheeler mentality makes you forget that you've got this big thing behind you called the trailer. And that's where you see people taking out hoods on just simple turns, or taking out stop signs and things of that nature. So it'll be interesting how that plays out. But as far as my thoughts on it, I don't like the idea, but there's not much I can do about it. So and what I've noticed, guys, and this is no joke because I've got two teenagers, anxiety runs rampant through today's teenagers. It really does. I mean, that's not a knock on them. That's not like these kids. No. That is a true medical thing, that a lot of these teenagers have anxieties, and so I don't see a whole lot of 18-year-olds signing up to do that. So, did you see Cash's King Feed? A company called Halver Lines gets new CDL holders and puts them in a 12-week program to make them trainers. Dutch, I did not see that, but that is a common practice. That's how desperate these guys are to put meat in the seat. If they would just pay decently, if they would just treat their drivers like human beings and be sensitive to what their needs are, you wouldn't have the retention, you would have a better retention rate. And that's the key. A large percentage of the drivers that like trucking has lost is due to them just going up to the next step, right? And getting their own authority, not because they thought another company was better. There are some that went to day cab jobs, and there's some that have gone out of business, but for the most part, the majority of our drivers have gone on to get their own authority. Clyde, Cascade, James Best, among the people in this feed. Josh Vegan, what's up? I feel so lucky. My trainer at Schneider was a great guy. He taught me a lot, and I still use his lessons today. Same here, man. Newbie, what's up? I think that I was blessed twice with, I had a good trainer that was old school. He treated me like a good human being. And then once he kind of saw that I knew a little bit about the old school because of my dad, I think that maybe I got better treatment than maybe some of his other students. But he also liked the mentality I had. The first thing he said is the first thing I said to my trainees was, you pay attention and you don't use the words I know, because you don't. Hey, turn right here. I know. No, you don't. Or else I wouldn't have had to tell you to turn right here. That kind of thing. So, training and treating people like human beings. Let's say you have an experience, like company, and they're learning something new like click and go, like at Schneider, or learning how to negotiate loads off a load board. And you got to be good at educating them on what you do with paperwork and how you approach load boards, and maybe teach them how to become, to help them run the day-to-day, like how do you do your paperwork, how do you sign rate cons and stuff like that, so they're not as frustrated. I think that's a big part of it too. You don't want to be just the guy that says, okay, I've signed you on, go to work. I don't think that works very well. Not without some frustration on both sides. Kenny is going to be a big rig trainer. I like having another man stuck in the truck with me. Good on you. 18 is a good idea. There's people with 30 years driving that are worse than any 18 years old. That's complacency. I agree with that comment there, Clyde. It's all in the person and their respect for what they're driving. I made it. What are we doing? What are you doing home? It's time for trailer trucking to make more money. No, I'm Thomas. I'm here spending money. The truck was in the shop, so I'm finishing up some tax stuff, and then I gotta do some stuff for my mom, and then there was something else I had to do. I can't remember. Oh, I had to finish up my hunter's course. I'm gonna become a hunter this year. So there's no better 80/20 spot company than Light Trucking, says Cascade. I believe I agree with you there, Cascade. I'm still here. Let's see. It's a sorry day in Indianapolis. It's a qualified driver shortage. That is the key phrase right there. You have 2 million people CDL holders that aren't working right now. Why is that? You know, it's probably a combination of things. How much do you gross in that, if you don't mind me asking? S&W, I appreciate the question, but I do not put those numbers out here on the webs because my numbers are different. I run different, so, but I can tell you that when I'm out, I can average anywhere between $800 and $1,000 a day. So, that's before carrier's cut. So, Cash is King, what's up? How do you handle health insurance? I'm very blessed, and my wife's job handles the health insurance. There's a lot of as an owner operator, you have the cost of equipment, the cost of downtime, the cost of health insurance, and then whatever else. So if you're a sole breadwinner, it's definitely a lot more challenging to be an owner operator than, say, someone like me who has a secondary income. And you're relying on a depreciating asset that's designed to make the manufacturers and the shops and the dealerships money. So you definitely have some challenges, especially today when you're looking at $120,000 for a brand new reefer trailer, or $70,000 for a brand new dry van trailer, and $100,000 for a used truck that will nickel and dime you from the get-go because it doesn't have a warranty. So those are the challenges you face. And I kind of like, think about this for a second. Wow, health insurance is $2,400 a month out of my pocket. That's crazy. Let's say that an investor is a millionaire, comes up to you and says, "Hey man, I'm going to give you $200,000 as a loan, and I want you to see if you can make money with it." And so you go to the casino, and you go to the roulette thing, the wheel thing, and you put all of that money on one number. You better hope that marble falls in the right place, right? That's essentially what you're doing when you invest in becoming a trucking owner-operator. If you're buying a truck and a trailer, you're looking at about $150,000 to $200,000 easily. If you buy new. Now, if you buy used, you're looking at 100, 150. But still, that's a lot of money. You can start, some brick and mortar places will let you start for less than that. Some franchise establishments will let you become a franchisee for less than that. And you are literally buying or leasing a depreciating asset. And your company is relying completely on that asset. We've basically bought our jobs. I agree with that statement. So if you don't treat it like a business, and you treat your business account like an open bank account, and you don't pay your taxes, and you don't think about things like healthcare and everything else, then you're behind the curve. You will have struggles. I'm not saying you can't make it, but you will have struggles. So to drop $100, $150, $200,000 on one sole business that relies on one sole thing is extremely risky. But the banking carriers won't tell you that because they give you an umbrella, they give you an out, right? Hey, we'll put you in a brand new truck. You make the high payment, but you know what? If you leave, we'll knock you for $3 or $4 grand and then call it a wrap. That's not the case if you go out on your own with your own authority. And then if you get your own authority, it's even more because now you're investing anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 for insurance. So I mean, this is a big money, high stakes game. A lot of people don't talk about that because it's easier to convince somebody to do $1,000, week payment and tell them that there's no risk versus, risking it all. And so these companies have they want you to be dumb. They want you to be stupid. They want you to not do the math. They don't want you to fail, essentially, but they want to be able to milk everything that they can get from you, which is why the trucking industry is where it's at, because of those kind of business without morality practices. And that's the part we slice your own throat. And I've never understood it, but I've watched it time and time again with businesses in and out of the trucking industry, in any industry, just absolutely slicing their own throats. DAT board, they keep raising the rates. Something that used to be $40 for me is now $90 for me. And it keeps going down. And I can give you 1,000 examples. I've worked for companies, not in the trucking space, but I've worked for factories that literally just, to be a business person, you're required to go to school and have these master's and bachelor's degrees, and yet these people are just flat out idiots because they've got their money set. They don't care about yours. And that's the thing, guys. Business is not fair. Never has, never will. If you have any kind of power. I mean, there was a video I watched where a certain medical company, pharmaceutical company, was the sponsor of all these different news programs. And it happens to be one of the top 10 stocks owned by Congress. You can't tell me that there's nothing fishy going on with that. As George Carlin said, it's a big club and you're not invited. And so they want you to buy these $150,000 rigs. They want you to go broke because if you're broke and in debt, you are a slave. That is it. That's tell me I'm wrong. And the more debt you have, the more slave you are. That's it. And some of us slave all of our lives only to retire and maybe enjoy the last 5 years. And then they start getting your pensions in your retirement through cancer drugs and heart medicine and diabetic medicine. And next thing you know, you've wasted your entire life being a slave. And, but hey, you got that new car, you got that new house, you got that new everything, and you're looking good, right? But you're going to look good broke. So, and then you're not able to leave anything for your kids. So that's the system that we're on, and unfortunately, this year and next year we're going to see the results of what that creates. So, there you go. Dental major coverage prescription. Yes, my own family plan. Welcome back. Trying to figure out what to do after I retire from driving. I thought you already were retired. It's funny now that Biden is president, there's no talk about healthcare. Jim Crow, that's very interesting. Look, if you didn't have the commercial food poisoning that they're doing, um, hell, if you got rid of diabetes alone, it wouldn't stress the healthcare system. You wouldn't need healthcare reform. Just saying. In the future, they will probably end up making all semi trucks automatic, so that could be a lot easier for new drivers to learn and put them to work as soon as possible. I agree with that big guy, Kenny, whatever your name is for the minute. That is coming to a certain degree. That's why you have automated transmissions, because it's easier to train guys. I guarantee that there's a large percentage of CDL holders in the last 3 years that have they can only drive an automated exemption on their license. Higher risk, higher reward, yes. But is it Cascade? My company has great health insurance. It's the only reason I haven't become an owner operator. Jacob E. Lanes, and that's worth its weight in gold right now, is health insurance. I wouldn't be doing this if my wife didn't have good health insurance. It's all a skin game. Yep. Neither is life. Work hard, do your research. Oh, about being fair, right? Is there any other YouTube trucker channel you recommend or don't recommend? That's a loaded question, SW. It depends. If you're looking for business, or if you're looking for entertainment, or if you're looking for just general knowledge, Cash is King is a good one. Jeffrey Light, what's he called now? I can't remember his name. Truckers Education Network. Sorry, Jeff. If you're looking for entertainment, there's plenty out there. And I won't tell you who to avoid, because that's not fair to them, because I don't want to start any YouTube drama. And that's what all it'll do. just take everything with a grain of salt. For many of us, don't take my word, don't take Jeff's word, don't take anybody else's word as gold, right? That's like going to the counter at the truck stop and only listening to one guy that one day. Don't do that. Emergency fund has never been more important than today. Jacoby, I absolutely agree. I thank her every day, Bill. I thank her every day. Do your own research, right? Look, there's not a be all end all, because you have to look at it. Look, there's a lot of people that concentrate on being successful that aren't really successful. Or they might seem successful, but they're unhappy, right? And at the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? People can't differentiate between pleasure and happiness. What makes you content? It does no good to gross, as an owner operator on your own authority, to gross $300,000 in 1 year if you're never home, and you can't take care of your body, you can't take care of your truck, you can't take care of your, the emotional needs of your family. It puts a strain on relationships. And so you have to find the balance. And the more you can control, the easier it is to find that balance. If you keep your debt down as low as possible, you have more control. If you work for a company like us that you can book your own freight and everything is up to you, or you get your own authority or something of that nature, and you don't have very much debt, you could do very well and be very happy. And that's the key. What makes you happy? What is your goal? What makes you content? I got guys that call me all the time arguing numbers, and and we say things like, this person's doing this wrong and this person's doing wrong. You know, I'm guilty of it. But at the end of the day, are they happy? Are you happy? Are you the one watching this or listening to this right now? I'm going to point my finger. Are you happy? And if not, why not? Are you full of fear? Are you full of anxiety? What are the roots of that? Do you know how to manage your money? Do you know how to manage your time? Do you know how to look ahead? Are you prepared for the worst? These are the questions that people should be asking, not what truck should I drive or which company should I go to. What are your needs? And that's the thing. No one knows how to do that. And that's kind of been my approach. I'm not going to sit here. I can only tell you so many times you got to track your numbers. I can only tell you so many times to get your debt down. I can only tell you so many times to find your lanes and have broker relationships and be able to put a big middle finger to the DAT board when you need to. But are you happy? Are you happy doing what you're doing? There you go. If Steve isn't getting lost in his truck, he's getting blown up by things in the garden. It is hard work. It is, Britt. Oh, that cracked me up. Make a business plan. If you don't know how, don't open a business until you. Guys, OIDA gets walked on all the time, but they will help you come up with a business plan if you're a member. Any tax accountant that's in the trucking will help you develop a business plan, right? You don't just like if you want to open a brick and mortar business, you don't just go to the bank, hey, I'm going to open a store, and then they go, all right, well, where's your business plan? I don't have one. I was just hoping the 50 grand I'd get a place and we'd be good to go. No, that's not how it works. Well, trucking makes that work. Trucking gives you the ability to do that. And so, you know, I'm an owner operator Snyder. I can do their Snyder Finance thing. And, you know, and Snyder Finance will tell you to have a business plan. They'll help you create a business plan using ATBS. But, you know, there are other companies that won't do that. Oh, no, you're good. What's your home expenses? That's not too bad. Go ahead and lease our truck. And then next thing you know, you're only bringing home $200 or $300 a week. And meanwhile, the company guy is like, dude, I'm not stressed and I'm making, you know, $1,500, $2,000 a week. What are you doing? You know, and then these companies, why they have a retention problem. So Steve, are you getting your navigation instrument worked on too? I have no idea what you're talking. Oh, making fun of me for being lost. I accept all derogatory remarks about that. You need to GoFundMe. Where's a good place to store excess cash? I have some gold, silver, nearly some Bitcoin, Ethereum, and pile of cash. DO, I don't know. Wherever nobody will look. The ground's good. I mean, I don't stash cash. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. Steve, there are plenty of suckers every day coming into trucking. I think it's like, you know, look, trucking makes it extremely easy to make you put 150 grand on red, right? I mean, that's why you have such a failure rate. Every person that told me not to become an owner operator is because they had failed or was frustrated with the industry at the time that they tried to buy a truck or lease a truck or whatever. And yeah, I agree with that, Whitty. That's a good start, although it's a tough market. Land is where I would go. Buy a piece of land and put a truck parking lot on it. You'll make bank. I love this industry and I'm the sole income, but Snorelord is correct. You have to be mentally and spiritually strong, because if you're planning on making this a business, it can be tough. Yeah, this business is not for wimps. It really isn't. And like any business, you can't let emotions run. And that's easy to, look, it's easy. It's easy when you talk to a broker and get ticked off at them. It's easy to tell your dispatcher where to go when you're, 1,500 miles from home. Your wife's yelling at you on the phone. You get home and you don't have a load yet. You think you're being ignored, even though you're one of 300 drivers on their board. It's easy to let emotions get to you. And so that's why I say, the more successful you are at trucking, the more control you can have. The more control you can have, the happier you will be. Just renewed your warranty, $8,400. 2 year, $250K. That's good. My truck is too old for warranties at this point. If you have a mortgage paid off, that's what I do if I had extra, but I'm pretty cautious with money. This is nothing witty. And so look, I'm not going to tell a person, don't become an owner operator, don't do it. Just know what you're getting into. And these companies are designed to make sure you don't think about what you're getting into. And the insurance companies will filter you out. If you have a bad test, or you have some tickets, or if you have drivers that have tickets, the insurance is really good at like saying, you know what, you're out, or we're going to price you out. And that's the thing. You can have your own authority, and you're still answering to the government. You're still answering to the insurance companies. They literally rule this industry, just like the pharmaceutical companies run this country. Kenny, what's up, man? Glad to see you using your real name. What would you rather do other than trucking? Paramedic, firefighter, or policeman? Ooh, I don't know. If you would ask me 2 years ago, probably a policeman, but I would like to be a detective. But I think you got to work your way up to that. I think I would like, I watched that first 48 hours show. I think I would like that. I think I would like to take care of that. We're at 7:10 there, Thomas Wilson. What I mean, Steve, is where can I make a profit on the cash that I have? The banks only pay 0.06 interest. I don't know. You can play with the stock market. You can play with the cryptos. But if you do that, I would diversify. But I'm not a financial advisor whatsoever. Real estate is slow and steady, just like silver and gold. 3 years ago, I should have bought 10 trailers with the money, or with a loan, and I would be swimming in cash right now. Man, I still kick myself every single day for not making that decision. Thoughts on police shortage? It's going to be a problem. My dog is barking. I bet you anything the workers are here. Oh, hold on a second. Alrighty. Might have to move my truck because the They're here to repair the transformer. There you go. Thomas Wilson would know about that. Let's see. Did you hear the claims from Packard that their new next gen 680 does 9 miles a gallon? Dutch, I wouldn't doubt that actually. I know someone's got the new 579 next gen, and they're doing very well with it. Now the real number is the IFTA number. What's your IFTA? And that's where I could tell you what my third quarter IFTA was. Let's see if I can find it here. My third quarter IFTA was 6.56. So it wasn't really that great. So that's why, luckily, I base all my fuel costs off of 6 gallons, 6 miles per gallon. You want to go on full-time farming? Good for you. The police shortage, though, is going to be an issue. Beast mode. It already is in some places. Mainly places where there's really strict laws regarding a certain tool. That's where you're going to have a lot of problems, and drug issues too. So 109 ships off of Los Angeles ports. That's crazy. Good morning, Mr. Snorelord. Greetings from Columbus. Can't book anything today. DAT board is totally down. I have some idea. I have so idea. So, but anyways, guys, I'm going to end this feed. We've been at this for over an hour, and I might have to move the truck for these guys. So, thanks for watching. Thank you for Like Trucking to sponsoring this deal. If we scared you with the transformer blowing live on YouTube, I apologize. And maybe I need to just cut that part and upload that. If you guys don't mind, share, take a look at my membership page if you're interested. It's not a big deal. It's not like I'm going to be that guy. Go to my Patreon and do what and I'm going to let this channel go to crap. I'm not going to be that guy. I really not. I promise you. But there might be some perks when you do join. Especially if you want to talk to me one-on-one. If you guys don't mind, share this video. I feel that maybe I put out some good info today. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Give me a thumbs up right here if you thought I've done good. Because I need encouragement because I'm very insecure. The whole late as usual. The whole hates it when I go live in the morning. He hates when I go live in the evening, and I'm doing it midday, and he still doesn't show up. So the whole needs to give me a thumbs up as well, because he has not yet hooked me up with Angelica Larson. I figured he knows her. So, anyways, guys, don't shoot at the other shit. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Be safe. Be good. Be aware. Peace out.